Did you know that 45% of the world's population Googles or YouTubes how to lose weight? And with YouTube being the second largest search platform in the world, you can get a lot of information. While there is so much information online on Google, on YouTube, on how to lose weight, I wanted to spend today's video to teach you on how to personalize your own dietary intake on your personal goals and bodily needs. 90% of my own success can be attributed to how I ate, and I plan on helping you do the same thing. So the method I'm going to teach you today is on how to lose weight, but you can also use it to gain weight. So this is actually really great to share with friends and family who maybe struggle with putting on weight. I use it on myself. If you cannot tell from my comparison photo, at that time on the photo on the left, I weighed about 145 pounds, and as of today, I weigh 205 pounds. Now, while I did put on significant muscle during that time, I also have put on a little bit of extra body fat that I don't want. And so the nice thing is I get to use the method that I'm going to teach you today on how to drop my own body fat. And while I understand that there are many ways to lose weight, and depending on medical conditions you may have, this is not going to work for you. But today we're going to talk a lot about calories in versus calories out, okay? So, excuse me, what we need to first do is talk about total calories. How many calories should you be eating in a day? So total calories. And this would be the time for you guys to get your notepads out, get a pen out, start taking notes. So we need to know how many calories you burn in a 24-hour period based on your current height, weight, and age. So there's a formula for that. So the formula is 10 times 10 times weight in kilograms plus 6.25 times height in centimeters minus 5 times your age. Now we're not quite done. There's one more thing to do at the end of this. So for men, we're going to put a +5. And for women, we're going to put a -161. So when you go through this formula and you plug in your weight, your weight in kilograms, your height in centimeters, and your age, and depending on if you're a man or a woman, +5 or -161, that's going to give you a number which is not anywhere near the final number. So for the sake of example, I'm going to use myself, but feel free to plug in your own numbers. You're going to have to use Google to translate, like say your weight in pounds to kilograms, unless you already know that. I do not, so I have to Google it myself every time. So let's go through it together. So let's plug in 10 times whatever your weight is in kilograms. I'm going to put in mine. Mine is 93. I weigh 205 pounds. So by the way, you might get a decimal point here. I want you to go ahead and round to the nearest whole number, okay? So like if it's 93.4, go ahead and just put 93. Plus 6.25 times, and my height in centimeters is 173. I'm 5'8". Again, rounding to the nearest whole number, minus 5 times age. I'm 30. And then for me, I'm going to put +5. And then for my ladies, I want you guys to put -161 here. Okay, so now we got our numbers plugged in. And what we're going to do is, if you remember PEMDAS in school, so basically I want you to multiply these two numbers together. This one's real easy. Whatever number this is, you just add the 0 to the end of it, plus 6.25 times whatever your height is in centimeters, and mine is 1,081, okay, minus 5 times age, Mine is 150 and then the plus 5. And then you go through and just do some simple addition and subtraction. So the total that comes here is the number that is called our basal metabolic rate, or BMR, okay? So BMR equals, and for me, that is 1,866 calories. Now let's pause here real quick. This number is not how many calories you need to eat in a day. This is how many calories you need to eat just to sustain your current height, weight, and age. Basically, this is how many calories you burn if you laid in bed for a 24-hour period based on your weight, height, and age, okay? So if you're already a little shocked, most people are, but again, we need to take this a little bit further. So what we do is we're active, right? Like we move, we don't just lay in bed all day, at least I hope not. So we need to take this number and multiply it times an activity level. So there is a chart for that. So sedentary means maybe you work at your desk. There's no judgment here, but maybe you work at your desk and then you don't even have a dog to walk, a yard to clean, or do anything in. You literally do nothing all the time. Sedentary is 1.2. Active meaning you move. Maybe you have kids, or you are, you have a dog that you walk all the time, or you do a bunch of yard work, or maybe even your job makes you active. Like if you're a nurse or a construction worker. Active means you're not doing any structured workouts, but you are active throughout the day. That is 1.3. If you do 1 to 3 structured workouts throughout the week, 1.375. If you do 4 to 5 structured workouts throughout the week, that is 1.45. And if you do 6 to 7 structured workouts a week, that is 1.55. Okay, so what we're needing to do now is take our BMR, our basal metabolic rate. Again, that's how many calories you burn just existing as you are now. And we need to multiply it times our activity level number, okay? So again, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I work out 6 to 7 days a week. So I would multiply 1866 times 1.55. Okay, and then the number that I get from myself is 2,892. So don't freak out yet. Your BMR multiplied times your activity level based on this chart. And then that gives you the calories that you need to eat just to maintain the body that you currently have. So you're watching this video because that's not what you're wanting to do. So now what we need to do is we need to take this number, 2,892, or whatever your number is. Let me get my eraser. $2,892. We now need to, this is, by the way, the first method on how to lose weight. You would then take this number and you would subtract up to 500 calories from this number. Now, I think subtracting 500 from whatever your number is a little extreme. I like to put it somewhere around the 300-400 calorie deficit. So what we're gonna do is, so for example, I'm gonna go ahead and put a deficit of 300 calories. So minus 300 equals 2,592 calories. There's more to it, and we're about to get into it, but essentially, if I were to eat based on my activity level, my height, my age, and my weight, if I were to eat 2,592 calories, I'm going to lose body fat. So like I had briefly mentioned already, you can lose weight or lose body fat by eating in a deficit. I'm gonna talk about that, but there is a second way. So let's recap the first way. So 2,892 calories. This is the first method. Eating in a deficit. So we'll say the deficit is 300, and that gives us 2,592 calories. Okay. The second way is through more activity. So instead of subtracting, we're actually going to go ahead and eat for the day 2,892 calories, and we're going to get ourselves into a deficit by actually burning more calories. So deficit by activity. So the 2,892 calories we consumed for the day, and that includes, and we ate that based on our age, weight, and height, and our activity level, which got us this number. But then to put ourselves in the deficit, we put ourselves in a deficit by doing extra activity. I'll go ahead and put extra here. Extra activity. So that means if we were to do extra activity and burn an extra 300 calories, that still puts us at 2,592 calories by the end of the day. Both methods work, and my preference is the second one for myself and for most of my clients, but both work and both will help you reach your goals. So I'm not going to touch on it too much today because that's a whole other video, but I'm going to give you just a real common macronutrient breakdown. So macronutrient, or macros, but macronutrients. So out of the macronutrients, you have your protein, carbs, or carbohydrates, and your fats. So a very common breakdown of macronutrients is 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fats. This breakdown is not for everyone, and again, I'm gonna have to make another video talking more about macronutrients, and then you compare that video with this video. But just to get you started, this is a very common and general breakdown. So out of that, those calories that you are going to be consuming for the day, 40% should be protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. I promise that I will make another video in the future going into further detail about the macronutrients. So let me give you guys a tip on how to actually track your calories and your macros, and it's using an app called MyFitnessPal. You probably have heard of it before. And what you can do is you can actually plug in the food that you've been eating or that you plan to eat, and you can see how many calories it's going to give you for that item, therefore for a meal, for the total for the day, and it'll also show you on a little pie chart your macronutrient breakdown for the day as well. So it really helps you keep within range. I suggest that you plug in the foods that you plan on eating for tomorrow and the day after, and you can kind of see if you're way over or way under, and then you can kind of make adjustments to make sure you fit within that range. Thank you guys for watching my video. Again, my name is Matthew, and I'm going to link below my business Facebook page, and I'm also going to link my calendar below where you can book a free fitness consultation with me. Make sure you like and subscribe and enjoy more content to come.